Hey everyone, I welcome you to the Seek architecture diagram explanation video. So I'll just basically start with the problem here. The main problem is that for HR teams, it's impossible for them to review so much work, like whatever everyone has done, and they have to do a lot of reading and they have to do a lot of research on what everyone is doing, and that is a very time taking process, and it just is very it's a lot of hard work which could be automated, and that's where Seek comes in. So Seek answers one question that Slack Search and Jira can't. Who actually knows a particular feature? It identifies experts based on demonstrated work, not ownership, and backs every answer with citations, that is links to the conversations of the Slack evidence. So so I'll go through the high level architecture. The first architecture that comes in is obviously the Slack workspace. It's there, and then comes the Slack Bolt app that's built using Bolt.js, and then there is the MCP server, which is the brains of this operation, and then there are external services like Superbase, Postgre. Like our graph is stored in Postgre database in a Superbase deployment, and then the LLM services are provided by Grok, and there is vector embeddings so that to enable caching, so that the LLM model is not hit as much so that it does not hit rate limits. So then there is also the Next.js dashboard where you can add a particular app to your Slack workspace. You can also watch the graph here. So basically the Slack integration is done using Bolt.js in socket mode, so it receives events in real time without exposing public endpoints. Every response is then rendered using Slack Blockit, and it allows to present reach responses. For our demo workspace, we also use the Slack web API to automatically seed realistic conversations into channels. We generated a lot of seed tokens for all the users, and that's how we seeded all the different channels. Then comes the MCP integration, which is the brains of this operation, as I said. So the Slack bot itself contains very little business logic. Instead, it is just an MCP client. Whenever a user asks a question or new messages arrive, the bot invokes tools which are exposed by an MCP server. So this MCP server exposes reusable tools like ingest messages, ask graph, get graph snapshot. This makes the MCP server our single source of knowledge, intelligence, allowing both Slack and our dashboard to use exactly the same reasoning engine. Then comes the knowledge extraction and storage. So as you can see here, this is a knowledge extraction and storage. The Gina is used for caching, so that one question, like if a question is asked again and again, it provides the same answer and does not hit the LLM model as much, so that it does not hit any rate limits. Then there is our LLM provider, which is Grok, which again provides us with correct phrasing, and it's also used for extraction. So the query flow is that when someone asks a question, the MCP server first queries only the relevant subgraph, and the retrieved evidence is then passed to the LLM to generate a good grounded response. Finally, the answer is returned to Slack using Slack Blockit, and it also mentions all the different citations and links of Slack evidence. So basically, to recap, the entire flow is Slack to Bolt bot to MCP server, to which then queries the knowledge graph stored in our Postgre database, and then it sends that data to our LLM, which makes it a grounded response, and then we present it to you in a Blockit wrapped reply. By separating messaging, reasoning, and storage, Seek becomes this reusable knowledge engine. It becomes a beast rather than just another Slack chatbot, and you must have this in every workspace that you work in, because it's just that cool. So Slack events are done using Slack Bolt.js. The UI is made using Slack Blockade. The demo data is done using the Slack Web API and user seed tokens. And yeah, so that was the architecture diagram for Seek, and then I'll just take you directly to the Seek one pager. And this is an amazing this is something that we created to show that this could be a business idea. This could be for small teams, for growing orgs, for the whole company as well. And there's this problem that organizations, they lose knowledge every day, and we have also provided with a solution here. Like, we provide you a living knowledge graph that keeps on adding hooks and channels. For example, you can filter using person, people, projects, decisions, or channels, and that is something that is awesome, and I don't think it exists in the current market. And so it could be a huge opportunity. And so other than that, there is who it's for. like I said, it could be used by HR people, it could be used by teams like companies with a lot of team segregation. And there is also what makes this, there is also this section which makes it why we are different, which says that. And you can definitely go through that as well. And so yeah, and I've attached it in the additional section. And so yeah, that was it, that was the explanation for C. Thank you.